getting in the way. But if it's something like, I was walking to work the other day, right, across Oxford Street, there's a little Hare Krishna fella there, and, he sort of had, he had a leaflet and stuff, and, he said, you know, are you interested? And I said, what do you do? And, he said, well, you know, we're against getting stressed out and what have you. And, he gave me a plum. They hand out food for some reason. But, I sort of asked a few questions.
That's the imagery. These two bold people, one of which is wearing an orange smock.
Holding a plum in the middle.
He hands the other one a plum. It's almost like you can imagine some kind of religious painting.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But you know, what is their sort of main thing? Because he didn't really tell me that much. He was a Japanese bloke, so I didn't know what he was saying that much.
Why? He wasn't speaking English?
Not very well. He wasn't the best sales bloke to send out for them, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what's that? Are they? You're saying they're nothing like?
Well, I believe Hare Krishna is a kind of as an offshoot of a sort of Buddhist faith.
It is. I think they are Buddhist, aren't they?
Yeah, and obviously their kind of trademark, as it were, is that they have to say. I believe they have to say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna in a certain rhythm, in a certain order, a certain amount of times per day. That's why you see them walking down the street saying Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, because it's actually a sort of religious chant which they're obliged to do. So you see, even if you go into the Hare Krishna faith, you may find yourself, you know, in Tesco or whatever, forced to say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Perhaps
out loud, not just thinking it.
Yeah, no, out loud.
You can put it on an iPod and
you can put that on an iPod. No, it doesn't count. No, I think you have to actually say it. So I guess that kind of eats into your social life a little bit.
And then there's the wearing orange as well.
Particularly frustrating, I imagine, if you're in a cinema or a library. A little bit awkward there, you know, midway through.
Or
Star
you
Wars,
live next door to a bloke called Hare Krishna, who constantly thinks you're calling him.
Yeah.
That probably.
Yeah. So that's in essence. I mean, I don't think we've quite done the Hare Krishna faith its full service there, but so interesting to you. I mean, you got handed a plum. You've been treated well by them.
Yeah, well, but he couldn't tell. I just wanted to know how much time it would take up. What are the benefits? You know, what can you do? What can't you do?
Well, I think the benefits are they probably don't get stressed out. They've probably got that sort of that zen, that chi-ness about them, where they try and interact and
quite meditative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got some nice trainers as well, don't they, with their orange.
What are you looking for then in a faith, Carl? You say what are the benefits? I mean, obviously Catholicism, you get the communion wine and bread, so.
Yeah, but I can afford that.
Right.
Probably just I liked the Crusaders. I was forced into joining that as a kid because a mate sort of joined it, and he sort of said, "Are you joining?" I sort of swore at him. I said, "I'm not doing that." Right? Yeah. He said, "Right, if you don't come with me, I'll tell your mum that you just swore." So I was like, "Oh." So I went along, and I used to just go on the Friday when they played, you know, Sabutio and stuff, and then I went on one Sunday, and it was totally different. There was no Sabutio. There was no sort of, you know,
table tennis.
The thing where you hold a thing and knock things over. Skittles. There was all that on a Friday. Went on the Sunday, it was rubbish. He said, "Right, sit down in this room." They gave me a Bible. Thought, this looks too heavy, this is too big, I'm not interested in this book. And I never went again. I used to hide on a Sunday when they came round. And that's been the only sort of...
I suddenly, why did it suddenly turn out to have to hide on a Sunday when they're coming round?
Because they wouldn't leave. They wouldn't leave.
Who was it? Were they adults?
It was sort of a... Well, he seemed like an adult to me at the time, but he was probably about 27.
Well, that is an adult.
Yeah, but, do you know what I mean? He seemed a lot older when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he came knocking and that, and he used to say to me, "Mum, I'll just tell him I'm ill or something." And, he used to hang around to see if I'd eventually come out to play and that. And if I did, I think they would have grabbed me and took me there.
I love the idea that for you religion has to bring with it some kind of gift. It's like, you know, join our faith and you get an alarm clock radio. It's like something like
I think religion does bring a gift. Usually, it's...
Well, the gift of the Lord.
Well, the gift of everlasting life, isn't it? And that's the problem with it, you know. A lot of people believe in it because they think...
But for Carl, his feeling is like, that should be a given. That's safe. I'm definitely going home with eternal life. But what else can I have? Is there an iPod?
You have to have a religion, because obviously I don't have a religion, I don't miss it, and I wouldn't want one. I'm an atheist. And that's out of belief, that's out of logic. And we don't get into the politics or the morality of it. Why do you feel you need a religion? Why don't you just get a hobby?
Well, I didn't want one. I don't want one. I just was saying that, you know, if I was to get one, which one would I go for? Is what I'm saying.
I'd like to see you perhaps as a Jew. I think Judaism would suit you well, I think.
What are the hours like for that?
Tough. It can be tricky.
That's what I mean. I don't want anything that's, you know... And they have a day where they don't eat and stuff. I couldn't be doing that.
So then they have days when they eat a lot too much.
Yeah, but what happens if I'm not that hungry that day? Like I say, I don't like change. You know what I mean? I like my Cheerios in the morning.
I can imagine that no one, even the people who've entered, are that excited. Not because the prizes aren't great, but I'm worried that they don't appreciate it, Rick. Do you know, I get the feeling that our listeners, they just don't appreciate the fact that we've gone to all this trouble, we've got the Homer Simpson drawing and things like that. I just feel like these people don't deserve it. And do you know what, it's weird, I just wish we had a better quality of listener. Like, people who listen to Radio 2, they deserve it, you know, they're elderly and infirm, some of them, it would really cheer them up, but our lot, you know, drug addicts,
Yeah, let me pick
you
it
know,
out.
truck drivers. So I've just put all the names in the hat, all the previous winners from the previous weeks, and
Who's
Rob as
put it
well.
out? Is this Pilky gonna put it out?
Do you want Pilky or do you want Ricky?
Oh well, let's have the shaved monkey do it.
Alright. Plunge your hand in there.
It's just... That's one, isn't it?
That's it, just pull that one out, check who it is.
Right, it's, Gavin Thompson in Edinburgh.
Well done, Gav.
Are we gonna get them up there?
That's not his problem. You got to post them. You got to pay. They're amazing prizes.
Yeah, but the Spinal Tap one, it's about 5 foot, isn't it?
Well, they can post it. It'll cost them a few quid. It's a radio station.
I think you should have to come and collect it. No, just because then it'll at least it'll prove that
Where's
he's
he
interested.
from?
Edinburgh.
Give it to Bob Geldof. I'll give it to Bob Geldof.
He's walking up there, so
Chewing breaks. Fishing for a dream. That's what we're fishing for, isn't it? We're fishing for a dream today.
What's
So
that
make
mean?
poverty. I don't know what I was talking about.
It doesn't matter what you're saying, Rick, no one's listening.
No one's listening. Well, we've got to finish anyway.
I mean, think about the fact that think how small our percentage of listeners is anyway.
Anyway. And then you two are on stage at the moment.
This is like broadcasting during Christmas dinner. This is the same, it's just
On the
pointless.
hospital radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where everyone's got an iPod for Christmas.
Yeah. On the ward.
yeah. Well, we've just got, we're gonna go through now till 5:30, and I've got to rush off, I'm afraid, to Live 8.
Don't apologise, mate. When people see the glam that you're bringing to that event.
They don't even care about the people introducing it. Comedians going, ladies and gentlemen, just get on with it.
No, I agree.
No, I've got a good joint there. Two blokes will get on with it. Bring on Madonna. But we're gonna give it to them, Carl. We're gonna go through to the end. We've done everything we have to do. Monkey news. The final monkey news of the year, possibly. It's been a joy. I'd just like to say, you know, on behalf of myself, Steve Merchant, and this little bald mank, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Yeah,
But, we should just point out as well, if you miss Rockbusters while we're away, yeah, right. You can log on to xfm.co.uk/Rockbusters, where you can actually see Carl himself introducing you to an interactive game of Rockbusters.
Looks very much like Blockbusters.
It does, surprisingly. But yeah, you can join into that.
And there's also, talking of monkey news, there's a link on the website. I'm trying to think where you go. I think if you go on my little biography bit, someone's done some animation to some old monkey news.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Should be
Great.
alright.
Yeah.
So if you're having withdrawal symptoms of monkey news, then you can find some classic
And it's
monkey news on
animated. Classic monkey
I feel
news.
drained today.
there. Do you?
Go on.
This is the strangest radio show in the world.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when we can do that, we can talk about this and go, oh, I feel drained today. Just like he's not, like no one's listening. Because that's the sort of thing you say socially and no one listens. Like just when you're watching that, oh, I feel drained today. It's rhetorical.
Yeah.
You're not expecting anyone, not even your loved ones, to go, oh really? They just go, oh, that. But to do it live on air,
Yeah.
oh, no one's listening.
What I mean is just give us a jingle.
But the
Exactly.
But the truth is-
the contempt we have for our poor listeners
But
is
the truth is, the
unbelievable.
listeners aren't listening, and
Yeah.
we don't want to be here. So it really is one of the most pointless things
Oh.
ever.
No, would have been quite happy to do a full show.
But you know what?
The flow of it's just.
I would
mess.
love to listen to this back in 10 years. This actual show, let's keep this forever. Let's keep this show forever. The show, we went early, we were bored, it was a day we're trying to save Africa, but we're a little bit annoyed that no one's listening. Yeah, right, right, once and for all, the final monkey news of
if you're
the
not-
year.
Oh, go on.
What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, if you're not into the Live 8 and you're gay, you're not listening. Because you're on a walk.
Right, okay. Right. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news!
Right, there's this, card game going on, right? in the big hotel in Vegas.
Right.
The Luxor Hotel in Vegas.
Yeah.
There's a major card game, all the big players and that
Sure.
were involved, right? They're all invited. Anyway, so they all meet up in this dark room at the back of the...
Oh, there we go, dark room. But hairy fella. So, it was brilliant at poker.
Like I say, it's a big game and that everyone's been waiting for it, so it's played in the back room, not in the main entrance bit, right? So anyway, like I say, it's dark in there and what have you, and the players went in, there was already someone sat in there, right?
Right.
But they couldn't quite see
Was he
him.
a short, hairy bloke with slightly longer arms than legs?
Couldn't see him.
Where
because
are his arms slightly longer than his legs,
couldn't see
strangely
him with it
enough?
being dark
Was he
and what have you.
holding his hand of cards with his feet?
Anyway. So the cards were dealt, right? Cards were dealt, game's going on.
His cards with his feet!
Game went on for hours, right?
No one's listening. The terrible thing is that not even we're listening to Carl now.
I know.
Literally no one is listening to Carl.
insulting.
There was a lot of smoking going on.
It's going on.
A lot of eating and nuts going on. That was a bit weird because they don't normally get through as many, but for this night. So, come on, let's just play Bruce.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you maybe at Christmas time.
Goodbye.
But Warwick asks, really, what are your thoughts on short people, particularly in entertainment? Because, of course, they've, throughout the ages, made an appearance, particularly in fiction. Tom Thumb, of course, the Oompa Loompas.
What do I think of them?
He's just wondering, I suppose, what your take is.
They're alright. I mean, when I was on jury duty, every day I'd sort of see one pop in, and he'd be sort of struggling getting on the chair. And he'd sort of, he wasn't struggling in a way that he felt uncomfortable. He'd obviously climbed a lot of chairs in his time, and this was just another one. And watching him, it just makes you think. You go, I should appreciate that I don't have that problem every time I have to sit down and what have you. But I don't think it's that bad. If I had to pick being really tall or really small, I'd go for the really small one because, the world's a more interesting place for him, isn't it? Everything's bigger. Do you know what I mean? We go to New York and go, wow, look at this. And they go and they go, oh, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Everything's a lot bigger. Everything's more amazing. Food portions. Everything's a bonus. So out of the two, I'd be small, and maybe that's what I'd chat to Warwick about for a bit, just to get to know him.
Brilliant.
It's a shame in a way that he's not been able to pop in. I'd like to hear that conversation.
But I've got, speaking of like weird stuff and that, I've got a new...
Well, we weren't, but go on.
No, got a new book. Do you know I had that Freaks book? The Top 50 Freaks. Got a new one sent to me.
Really?
Yeah, and do you know like everything normally has a name? So like if it's the two-headed fella, they're all nicknames like that, aren't they?
They've got two nicknames, I imagine.
But this new book I've got, right, on the cover of this one, it's got like a woman with 3 breasts, right? And she's called the three-breasted woman, as you'd expect. The one face.
Why is she posing nude, though? That's what I want to know.
Tart.
Well, she looked happy. And there was a fella with like one face but 2 bodies.
What do you mean one face but 2 bodies?
One face, 2 bodies.
What do you mean one face, 2 bodies?
Surely one head, 2 bodies.
Ed as well, but it was mainly the face. That was weird because he looked fed up. He sort of,
What are you talking about? How
What
can
are
you
you
have
talking
a face
about?
without a head?
How can you have... What do you mean? How did it join to the neck?
no, it did have a head, but the fact is, it was weird that it had one face to me.
What do you mean?
Well,
if you've
of
got
course
one
he had-
head, you'll have one face.
Yeah, I know, but it was the fact that he had one face and 2 bodies that I didn't think.
But
one
why do
head-
you keep saying one face and 2 bodies as
Why
opposed to
not one
one
head?
head and 2 bodies? We're all the man with one face.
Yeah, but now I've got one body.
Yeah, well, surely he's the man with 2 bodies then. Again, the description.
Roll up, see the man with one face.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So it's full of stuff like that, right? And what I'm saying is that fella, the one-faced man, the 3-breasted woman.
He wouldn't be known as the one-faced man, is what I'm saying.
Well, they've all-
that
they all-
isn't the peculiar thing about him.
Yeah, well, they all had names like that. But
Right.
there was one thing in it that didn't even have a nickname. It was so weird.
What do you mean?
It just said unidentified.
What does it look like?
Sort of testicles for eyes. That's. It just reminded me when you were
What do
talking
you
about
mean
strange-
testicles for eyes?
And what is it? Did he have a normal body?
I didn't even look at that.
Oh,
No,
so
that's what I'm saying though. You're attracted to the oddness of the thing, and that's what I was saying about Warren when he walks in.
Warwick.
You know, it'll be odd for a minute, and then I'm sure
For him it will be, yeah.
He'll get used to you.
I've got my head round it a bit more, and the way that there's loads of people in the world, and yet you don't see people with like dangly eyes more often. It amazes me.
I love the fact that he's amazed by not seeing freaks.
Yeah.
It's incredible. He's walking down the street going, oh, everyone's got one head. That's weird.
Suzanne, see any dangly eyes today? No, me neither.
It's weird, isn't it? What's going on in the world?
Went out the other night with the lads. You know, there's a few of us, you know, young, free and single.
Must look like the Swingers.
Oh, it was pretty. It looked like a boy band had gone out. It looked like,
Really?
It looked like, you know, NSYNC had hit the streets.
Right.
Yeah. A friend of mine said, let's go to a club. Right, I haven't been to a nightclub for a long time, actually. I haven't been.
Is that because your glasses steam up when you walk in out of the cold?
That is a problem in the winter. I genuinely, it's very difficult to make a good impression. When as you walk in, your glasses steam up straight away, and you know you got to take them off and clean them and stuff, and then you know you get a bit.
On your white fronts, you pull your white fronts up through the jeans, clean them on that.
Or the back of a girl's dress. But we cruised down to the club. It's one of those big sort of London super clubs, and it's a bit of a queue. I think it's a bit of a chore. But we're queuing up, we're in good spirits, we're looking at it, it sounds pretty funky, we can hear the music coming out. You know, been in the queue for quite a while, 25 minutes.
Forget it, 25 minutes.
Well, yeah, we were pretty excited by this point. The doorman says, hello lads. I said, yeah, we're coming please. He went, no you're not. I went,
Really?
What? He said, you're not coming in. And he just immediately lifted the little rope and sent us away from the queue, right? And we were slightly perplexed, we were dumbfounded, we didn't know what to do, it was like, this couldn't be happening, it didn't make sense. We just queued up what was going on. And so, my friend said, well, we got to find out why he's not going to let us in. So he goes back over.
I thought what you wanted to do. You wanted to tie him up with logic. That'll show a bouncer.
Exactly.
Yeah, show him how educated you are and how you can win an argument and make him look stupid. You'll be in that club in no time.
That's what they appreciate. They love that. Because what they respect is being made to look like a fool.
Yeah, exactly.
So we went over and...
They really look up to intellectuals.
Exactly, yeah. So one of our mates goes over and he says, why didn't you let us in? And he went, because you didn't have any girls with you. Now, I'll tell you this. That's kicking you when you're down. Because when you're out on a Saturday night trying to get into a club to meet women, and the reason you're not allowed to go in a club to meet women is because you haven't got any women with you, that's just salt in the wound. It's so humiliating. So, a friend of mine says that there's a VIP entrance over there. There was like a woman with a clipboard, you know, the guest list. Separate entrance. She said, you know, you've got a little bit of profile, Steve. Why don't we try and use your...
You ran home, got your Golden Globe in your Emmy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I always carry, you know, some of my cuttings with me.
Yeah.
And I felt a bit self-conscious about it. I was thinking, I'm not into this, you know, it's a bit awkward. But he said, look, don't worry, you just stand here. Just stand here, just like you're having a conversation. I'll go over, I'll point him out, I'll go, oh, there's, you know, Steve Merchant over there, at the office. Or whatever.
Oh, God, Steve!
So I thought, well, you know, the thing is, we were out, and I was a bit frustrated, and I thought, you know, we may as well try everything. So I stand there, if my friend goes over and he has a word, and he comes back and he says, it's fine. She can't let us in the VIP entrance because she's not allowed, but what she can do is walk us to the front of the queue, right? And walk to the front of the queue and explain. So I think, okay, fine.
Oh, God.
So we walk past everyone else, right, to the front of the queue, right? She goes up to the guy, she says, this is Steve Merchant office. The guy goes, I know he is, we're not letting him in.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
By now, of course, some people have recognised me, so they're trying to have my photo taken. So there's people inside the line that's being allowed in the club. I've got to lean across the rope to have my photo taken with them, even though I'm not allowed in the club. So they go, oh, all right, this is Steve, they're having the photos taken, right, camera phones and that. They're going into the club where the music, the party's kicking off. I'm outside waiting for the next chump who wants to have his photo taken. I mean, it was mental.
So,
That's unbelievable.
I was furious, and then one guy, I remember he was chatting, and he goes, "Oh yeah, brilliant! I love the podcast and all that stuff. I love. Is Carl with you?" I said, "No, Carl's not here." And his girlfriend, she went, "Who's that?" And he went, "Oh, it's just Steve Motion. He does The Office. He does thing." And she went, Who cares? Who are you, Bruce Forsyth?" And it's that thing when suddenly I'm being humiliated and embarrassed by someone's girlfriend. I never asked for that. I never asked for her opinion on me. I'm sorry if I don't impress you, if I'm not sufficiently famous for you, but it's not my fault. It's your girlfriend who brought it up. It was like I'd gone over to her and tried to show off, and she was annoyed. So by now I was just furious. So I thought, forget this.
Well, I was walking down the street, and there's a group of builders sitting down having a cup of tea. One of them goes, "All right, Rick." I went, "All right, mate." The other one went, "Not as fat as on telly." I went, "Oh, thanks. Not as fat as on telly." So he went with, "Well, you are fat, but you look even fatter on telly." He didn't say, "Oh God, you don't look fat at all," or "Oh, you look big on telly, but you don't look fat." Just went with, "Not as fat as on telly." And there's nothing I could say, but cheers, mate.
Now, when you said cheers, mate, did you say that because you were? Because I'd say cheers, mate, because I'd be a little bit scared of them.
No, I was
I'd be worried about
it's
the
like
repercussions.
sarcasm, and I laughed after. Yeah.
So you can get away with sarcasm with working class blokes.
I'm a little bit more secure with a working class male than you, aren't I?
I'm terrified of them. I feel like they're going to turn on me at any minute.
You don't feel confident sort of backing in a lorry driver?
Terrified.
Oh, right.
Because
okay.
if I did, he'd probably lean out and just go and get your dad, mate.
Yeah, not you.
Fuck off, I'm not interested.
Not you. Yeah. Right, Carl, come on then.
Oh, hang on, I just must tell you as well about Lord Admiral Nelson's erotic letters.
Go on.
They've been sold at last for £117,000.
Sunday mail?
Them. I don't know who bought them.
Who opened them that shouldn't have?
They got sent to someone else.
To you.
They were meant for Lady Hamilton. What are you doing opening them?
Go on, then, what's he say? What's he got up to?
It's interesting because they've printed a couple of the things he's wrote.
Dear Lady Hamilton, a bit of a problem. Just the one hand. You might have to help me out on a couple of manoeuvres.
Yeah, and the one eye, so I'm not appreciating the 3D.
Exactly. I don't care where you put it.
Yeah,
Because yeah, go on.
You'll have to help me guide it in.
You might as well
I can't
stand
tell.
and go across the other side of the room for all the good it do me.
Exactly.
Go on then.
Of course he ended up kissing Hardy, didn't he? Did he kiss Hardy, or did he ask him and he never did?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about this, because I heard that he didn't, and it said kiss me, which means fact, and then I heard that he did say kiss me,
Hardy.
Hardy. Like, you know, because it was got suspense. I don't know. Is it kismet, or is it kiss me?
Kiss me Hardy. I think his final actual dying breath was no tongues.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And someone went, kiss you what?
Exactly, yeah. Maybe that was his nickname.
My name's Smith.
Yeah.
You want me to kiss?
Exactly.
Kiss me hardy. I wouldn't have thought so. I'll kiss your lips and you'll be happy with it.
But,
I'll
yeah.
touch you, Hardy. But I'm not kissing it. Go on.
Couple of quotes from there. This is him writing to Lady Hamilton, who he was having an affair with. "I can neither eat or sleep for thinking of you, my dearest love. I never touch even pudding." Well, I think we've all written a letter like that to a lady.
That's a euphemism.
Surely.
That's like, I think that's, I haven't eaten, and by the way, I haven't even knocked one out.
Yeah, exactly.
You are gonna get a sackful. Alright, Carl? You're the producer, is this alright? It's all euphemisms, I've not said anything wrong. Go on.
Oh, come on, it happened in the 19th century. We
Yeah.
can talk about it, you know.
Yeah.
This is more topical than monkey news. Anyway, listen, sorry, we better get back to the competition. I'm worried that we've lost sight of that competition, because I'm not going to lie to you, we've had no entries whatsoever so far.
I can't believe that, because I actually got up most of those. That's actually a more accessible one. I think I know all the artists, and I'm stuck on, Girlfriend, but I think I might know who that is.
Let's hear it again.
I'm surprised. Now I think that's a pretty accessible one,
An
eh?
accessible quiz?
Yeah, so no one's... Is the email up, or no one's listening?
No, well, I think there's a little bit of that. But, I think we've accidentally closed down the texting.
Oh.
So if you're texting in...
This
don't
is
bother with that.
rubbish. It really is awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just play it again, hang on a minute.
I'll tell you what it was, we didn't give out the prizes. We didn't say what the prizes were going to be. That's the reason.
Yeah, I think the emails are gonna go mental when
Yeah,
they...
when they find out it's the first series of Open All Hours on VHS, they'll be
yeah.
flooding in. Let's see what
And
we've
a
got
Bridget
here.
Nielsen video.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
No, actually, it's not too bad.
Go on.
The best air guitar albums in the in
Yeah,
the
that's
world.
still going. That's
Volumes
that's
1 and
evergreen. That'll keep running and running.
Some kind of anniversary box set of a Doctor Who episode with a small
New
model
one
car.
wants that, baby.
I'm Alan Partridge Series 2, that's
Yeah.
worth having, obviously, and
Yeah.
Porridge Series 3.
Okay,
If
good.
you've not watched all of them on UK Gold, then get them on DVD.
There's something wrong with you.
Right.
So yeah, let's hear it again.
Alright. Just name the artist, that's all we want, just
Yeah.
the artist.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
Play record.
Right, Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic.
His version of Wonderwall, if you've not heard it
Beautiful.
yet, you'll be loving it.
You'll be loving this. Radiohead, Fake Plastic Trees on XFM 104.9.
Mhm.
Someone just emailed in and said, just want to know what you think of that cover of Wonderwall.
We told you. We said it was great.
Yeah.
Listen.
But they must have been listening to hear,
The song.
yeah.
Extraordinary.
Although maybe they just turn off,
When we start talking.
yeah.
That would make sense.
That would make sense. I mean, it makes sense in a sort of preserving of sanity type way as well.
Objectively, Rick, if you were listening at home, if you didn't know us and you were listening to the show, would you listen to it? Would you bother? I know that's a hard thing to get your head round.
It's difficult to say,
Theoretically.
isn't it? I've no idea. I've no idea what people coming to this for the first time think.
I mean, I love you like a brother, but I get sick of you.
Yeah. I mean, I get sick of me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wake up and
It's weird you should say that, because someone's emailed in.
Yeah.
A recent survey's been done by Cheltenham and Gloucester. The most desirable neighbour in Britain. Number 1,
Shane Ritchie.
Johnny Wilkinson.
Oh, right.
It doesn't actually give me the full rundown, but David Beckham was in the list.
Yeah.
Shane Ritchie was indeed in the list.
Yeah, he's flying at the moment.
As was Ricky Gervais.
Really?
Well, that's what it says. It doesn't tell me where you came, though. And there was actually a neighbour from hell, and you weren't in that list.
Well, I'm a good neighbour.
Oh, come on.
I am. I'm quiet. I don't keep myself to myself. I never...
Do you know what I'm thinking of?
What?
If it was best friend.
Yeah.
Now that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Most
I'm a-
desirable friend.
I'm a good neighbour, I'm quiet, you know, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I imagine being stuck in a room with me writing all the time, with me squeaking like a chimp.
Unbelievable.
Although I don't physically abuse you, I save that to my bald mates, like Carl and Rob and that, I just like to squeeze their head. I don't
Yeah.
squeeze your head,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think it's because you command a little bit more respect.
Ah, thanks very much.
Do you know what I mean? You're not that sort of... You're not an idiot.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Alright, Carl, got anything to say? Has anyone seen his picture in Heat this week? It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Do you know what Steve said when he saw that, Carl?
Go on.
He said, it has captured Carl.
What do you mean?
Well, you just look utterly gormless. In the pictures. It's captured you brilliantly. You know how, like, a good photographer can do that? They can capture the essence of someone. That's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Well, actually, I'm the photographer.
Yes,
Because
you
it was
are.
a screen grab from the behind-the-scenes footage.
Well done.
So I got that gimpness. I captured the essential gimposity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Carl.
Yeah.
Alright?
Should it?
Yeah, well, I did a little article for Time Out, and I think Boyd from Heat has sent over that screen grab to them, so he might be in Time Out. I'm gonna try and get him in every publication.
Yeah.
For 1 year. It's like a
Well,
Dave...
you've managed it in the last 2 weeks.
Exactly, yeah. It's like a Dave Gorman project. Are you Karl Pilkington?
Yes.
Let's do that, shall we? If anyone's got a publication, it doesn't matter how little, just take it from Heat. That's mine, so you're welcome to it. Just try and just put his picture in anything. Next to round things is best, isn't it? That'd be good. You alright, Carl, with that?
Yeah.
Alright then, good. What have you got for us, Carl?
News headlines?
There aren't that sort of been that much going on.
Sure.
Sort of headline-wise, you
No.
know.
Sure,
No,
sure.
because I look for good headlines and that, don't I? That sort of
Yeah.
get you interested, like the...
Well, then when you're interested, you don't read on.
No, I did.
Okay, go on.
Like the one, do you know the one I read out a couple of weeks ago? That was, man lives in dump for 10 years. Right?
I remember the Chinese woman eats dirt.
Yeah, well...
That was a cracker.
Man lives in dump for 10 years. I read on with that one yesterday.
Yeah.
I found it in my bag because I took it home, so I thought I'll read that when I get a minute.
Yeah.
Right?
News. Imagine that. News. I might read last Thursday's Sun.
Yeah.
Just to catch up.
Do you know how he got caught?
What do you mean how he got caught?
He lived in
He's
a
living in a
dump.
rubbish dump.
Well,
He
what's
li-
up
he
with
lived in a
that?
rubbish dump.
What's
No
good?
one knew he was there, right?
Yeah.
He was living off food that had been chucked away. He said a lot of people chuck away stuff that isn't off, so you can survive on that. He had a nice little place to sleep and that, on an old mattress, that was alright and stuff. Got away with it for 10 years. until he decided to celebrate bonfire night with some fireworks. Can you believe that?
Well, he's happy that the gunpowder plot was foiled, and the Guy Fawkes was beheaded,
Anyway.
thus saving our system of government.
There's got to be a couple of news headlines, surely.
Hold on, wait a minute. Bong!
Pierce penis man off the hook.
Bong!
Man changed his name to Bubba 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 Bubba.
Bong!
Dwarf to live in a glass box.
Dwarf to live in a glass box.
Yeah, it's meant to be art or something. It's not though, is it?
What? Meant to be art? Why is, whose idea is this? Is art, or is someone hired a dwarf to live in their box?
It's just a box, and he can even leave when he wants, apparently. He can, like, go, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going for a walk, and he puts a little note.
If it's Damien Hirst, he might end up in 4 bits. So, just be careful.
But to me, that's like that thing when I said to you about the woman in the jar.
What woman in the jar?
The woman in the jar, they go, oh, come and see the woman in the jar. And
it's
then
a
it
big
turns
jar.
out it's a big jar, so
Yeah,
it's
it's a
like,
big
well,
jar.
put me
Yeah.
in there as well then.
Exactly.
It's not special.
Yeah.
And that's the same with him. It's a big box, he's a small fella. What's good about that?
What do you want to do, though? To compress matter?
But hang on, it's not a world record-breaking attempt. It's supposed to be art.
You know, what's art about that?
Well, I don't.
What's art about that? Oh, can we do a show for BBC 3? Karl Pilkington going around, what's art about that?
Yeah.
That is brilliant. What's art about that?
I'd love that.
Would you?
I'd love that.
Me and Steve are going to do a thing called Is Art Rubbish? Where we'd go round and we'd chat about it.
Yeah.
But we can hand that over to you if you want to do that. If anyone from BBC 3 is listening, Karl Pilkington, what's art about that? Alright? Weird, isn't it? And what would you go around like Sensation and things like that and Saatchi and go and
Dali and that.
you put a sheep in formaldehyde, what's art about that? Our butcher does it. Alright, weird, isn't it?
What do you make of Dali and the melting clocks, all that stuff?
Talked about it, haven't we?
Have we?
Told you.
What do you think of that?
He sort of milked the idea a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
everything had a melting clock on it. It was like he had a bit of success with it once, and then he just ruined it. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
It's like you with the monkeys.
Like Status Quo?
yeah.
Sure. What's your favourite artist? Don't say Lowry.
Lowry's my favourite
Why is Lowry your favourite artist?
captures life, doesn't he? Going on and
In
that.
stick form.
I know you're a big fan of Where's Wally as well, aren't you? You've never found him, have you? I've never found him yet.
No, Carl, that's not Wally, that's a stain on the table. You've come off the book again.
Anyway, listen, are we doing what's in a bit?
What?
Right, play a record.
We don't know what you're talking about.
Play a record.
What?
Yeah, we'll be doing what's it in.
Yeah, what's it? Coming up after the break.